It's just you, me, and Spock talking about weddings. Live long and have a prosperous wedding. Okay, let's do this. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Amelia and I post DIY, upcycling, thrifting, and crafting videos every Wednesday. Today's video is the second installment of my wedding series. I'm getting married next May and I've been planning my wedding, and it is fun and exciting and scary and fun and exciting, and the unknown is terrifying. I'm an Enneagram 5, so according to my sister, that means I'm uncomfortable in situations where I don't feel capable. And I don't feel capable in this situation. Anyway, so in my last episode, we made my DIY wedding notebook, and I showed you my process of that. And I also talked a little bit about budget and ideas and just kind of where my head was in terms of planning my wedding. And it has been 5 months since I posted that video, so a lot has changed. We've done some things, we haven't done some things, and we're just gonna dive right in and talk about the process of planning your own wedding, getting everything done, just having fun, because that's the whole point of planning a party for yourself, basically. A wedding's just a party for you and your fiance. You could get married at a courthouse. The wedding is the party, so you're just party planning. So in my last video, we made my really fun wedding notebook, and we made all kinds of fun inspo pages, and I made some checklists that I'd found online that talked about when you should have things done, and I thought we would check it out and see what I've done that I should have done, apparently. So I'm getting married next May, and that would be
September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May.
So we're 10 months out roughly from my wedding date, so that's a pretty substantial chunk of time. We got time. So on the 12-month checklist, we're supposed to define your budget. Guys, budgeting is kind of a joke. I was super gung-ho about not spending money and having it be super
thrifty.
It's gone out of control. I'll be honest with you guys, it's gone out of control. No, that's an exaggeration, it's fine. We are being thrifty in certain ways, but also my fiance and I decided what was important to us and what we were willing to spend money on, and our families very graciously have been helping us out and offering financial support and emotional support, just helping us figure out everything out, so we're in a really good place. We have definitely exceeded the original budget I had planned for us. In my last video, I said that I wanted my budget to be $7,000, and guys, it's gonna be over $7,000. I feel like I've lost control of the money situation, but also I feel like we're not spending a ton of money on any one thing. I feel that way. I think other people would think that maybe we are, because we chose a venue that was a little bit on the pricier side, because it's an outdoor wedding venue that has the place for the ceremony and the place for the reception, and it's covered and it's beautiful, and we feel like it's perfect, and it's got a built-in kitchen, so catering will be a breeze. So honestly, we feel that it's worth it. If you don't feel that it's worth it, don't get it for your wedding. All that being said, we have exceeded the budget that I had planned, $7,000, so define your budget. Haha, we didn't do it. Instead of defining a budget overall, I think that we needed to define specific things for budgets, which we have, but those add up super quickly. If you are trying to make your wedding super low cost, I would say you just need to find things for free as much as you can. You need to ask your friends if they'll do your music for free. You need to ask your friends if they'll do your hair for free, your makeup for free. If you know someone who sews and is super thrifty, you could make your dress, and that would be super cheap. Like, it's all kinds of crazy stuff, and it sounds overwhelming, and it is, but it's also super fun, and I've been having a good time planning. I'm one of those people who can be stressed and also be having like a great time. I feel like that's kind of my constant mode. Stressed but also fun. 12 months out checklist. Number 2 is pick your wedding venue and your reception venue, and we've done that. We picked our venue, we put down a payment, so this is actually done. We're just gonna check that off. Pick your wedding venue, done. Okay. Put together your guest list. Yes, my fiance and I have put together our guest list. It still needs to be finalized, and also probably everyone that you invite will not actually attend, especially in the current climate right now. People don't want to be in large groups, so if someone doesn't want to come, that's fine. But I'm still gonna invite whoever I want to invite, and we'll just see what happens. So research rehearsal dinner venue. That is something I still need to do. I want to make a video about traditions concerning weddings so that I can educate myself but also educate other people. So I think I'm going to be doing that as one of these wedding series videos. What are wedding traditions? What is the etiquette surrounding weddings? Kind of like a crash course, what you need to know, because I need to know this stuff, and making a video will help me learn it and hopefully help you. But one of those things is that the groom's family pays for the rehearsal dinner, so I'm letting my fiance's family kind of take charge of that, and we've talked about it a little bit, but we haven't gotten the venue down yet, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Collect wedding inspo and aesthetic. We did that in our last video with our little mood board pages. Officially select your date. Yes, we have done that. You can't officially put down money on your venue unless you have a date, so those two things kind of go hand in hand. 7 was find any rentals that you needed, like a tent, table, and chairs. Amazingly, the venue that Wes, my fiance, and I have chosen has a barn, so it is covered if there's rain. No worries, the reception's gonna be in this beautiful old barn, so that is perfect. And tables and chairs are included, so we don't have to worry about that. So a ton of things are checked off this list. So then we have 9 to 12 months out as the next list, and that is the stage that we are currently in since we are 10 months away. Select your wedding party. We have already done this. I think we need to ask a few more people and just finalize everything. Choose your color palette and style. I feel like we already did that, so that's fine. Start wedding dress shopping. I did this. Okay, I went wedding dress shopping for the first time last weekend, and it was really, really fun. Going back to the Enneagram 5 thing, I was super nervous because I did not feel prepared because I'd never done it before, but of course it was so much fun. I have a couple more appointments that I'm planning to make, but there is a dress that I'm really thinking about from that first place that was, there were 3 dresses that I was just like, I kind of want all 3 of them, but we aren't spending $40,000 on this wedding. We're going over budget, but we're not going that over. So the next 2 things are some things that I really, really need to do. Book musicians, book your photographer and videographer. For catering, we have a family member who has graciously offered to do the catering for us, and I think that's really fun because it gets your family involved. And we're gonna have Mexican food catered, which is super easy to prepare. So that's kind of done, right? We'll check it off. Then we have select your officiant. We have done this. We asked our pastor if he would do our wedding, and he said yes, of course. The last 2 things are start planning your honeymoon, which we have not done, need to get on that, and finalize any rentals, which isn't applicable because we don't have any rentals. So look at us go. So the next list is 6 to 8 months out, and it's all about buying your dress, finalizing your guest list, mailing addresses, sending out your save the dates, florist, cakes, honeymoon, blah, blah, blah. So that's all coming up, but I think we're pretty much on schedule, honestly, and it's kind of by accident because I haven't looked at these schedules for about 2 months. It just kind of organically happened. So that's great. I'm glad that it's working out because I don't know if you picked up on this, but I'm not a professional wedding person. So I think the next steps that I'm going to take are, I have made a save the date and I need to print those out, but before I do, I need to know the exact number that I'm going to need because I don't want to buy too many because money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an Excel spreadsheet that I'm going to share with my fiance. So I figured out that Google Drive actually has a free template for wedding planning, which is so cool, and I'm kind of mad I didn't know about this before now, but you should totally check it out if you're wedding planning because it keeps everything in the same place and it's on your computer, so you could also pull it up on your phone or whenever you need it, and you can share it with someone like your fiance. It had exactly what I was planning on making myself, which is a section for the guests and if they responded and if you sent invitations and their names and everything like that. And I actually added a row on the far left side for the number of people in each party because I have a lot of families that I'm inviting where I'm only sending 1 invitation, but it's going to be for 4 or 5 people. So I wanted to have that number. And then I added the little sum thing. I don't really know how to use Excel, so I just kind of push buttons, so I figured it out. But I made it so that it tells me the sum of the numbers that I have on the left side. So as soon as we get the names and the addresses down, we can print out our save the dates and we can start sending those out, which I'm really excited about. I just made mine on Walgreens. I just went in and used one of their templates, and I think it's like 85 cents per save the date. It adds up really fast, so you could totally send it electronically. I've actually seen people do like a Facebook group kind of thing. That's not really my style, but hey, it saves you a ton of money, so you do you, whatever works. I wanted to talk a little bit about the process of finding a venue, because that was something that was a little bit overwhelming for me when I was thinking about it in the grand scheme of things. So what I first decided was, where do you want to get married? General area. So I really wanted to get married really close to my hometown. So I put in wedding venues and then my hometown, and a bunch of venues came up and a lot of them were in a neighboring state, but I actually wanted to get married in my home state, so I would keep my scope in that area, so it was like a smaller selection of wedding venues. So I ended up making this list of wedding venue pros and cons, and I'm covering it up just because I don't want to broadcast all the places I was considering getting married. But the general idea is I wrote the names on this side, and then I wrote pros and cons, like really pretty but pricey and small, and this is cool barn, tables included, options like that. And it helped me narrow it down and figure out which one I wanted and which ones I was going to visit and things like that. And I had a couple of friends make suggestions, and I knew some people who'd gotten married at different spots, so I checked those out, and ultimately we found a spot that we thought was really, really great. And so we went and visited them, talked to them, saw what was going on, and it was under a bit of construction, so we wanted to wait and see how that was working out before we put any money down. And then about 4 months after that, we went back, checked it out, it looked amazing, and we put some money down and figured everything out. So that whole 4-month span, I was like nervous. I was like, we don't have a wedding venue, we need a venue. Not having a venue was making me feel anxious because you can't really plan anything else. You can't book a caterer, a photographer, a DJ, you can't do anything until you have your date. Once you have a date, you feel a lot better. I don't know if this makes any sense. Oh, I also have my wedding band. My future mother-in-law was so sweet and wonderful. She gifted me a ring that was hers, and it looks just like the wedding band that I wanted. My engagement ring is really classic and beautiful, and I wanted an infinity band as my wedding band, but I didn't necessarily want the stones to go all the way around because you can't resize rings like that, and obviously the more stones you have, the more expensive it is. So I was totally up for just having a glass or cubic zirconia or anything in the infinity band. I don't really care if they were diamonds or not, I just wanted the look. So that is being sized right now, so that is one more thing that I can check off the list. And I have been searching on Etsy for my fiance's ring because he wants me to pick it out. I'm thinking I'm gonna buy his band on Etsy, and then I can get it engraved and it'll be really special. And I'm also looking for my wedding shoes. I love the Wizard of Oz. I love red shoes, and whenever I sing I always wear red heels, and I love wearing just like an accent of red. I usually have red nails and red shoes to kind of match, and I thought it would be so fun if I wore red Dorothy shoes underneath my wedding dress. Like, when else are you gonna get a chance to do that? I don't know, Halloween. Your wedding, okay. So I thought it would be really fun to find some red heels. I found a couple different options on Poshmark and Etsy. I haven't bought any yet, but I just have those on my radar, and I'm watching them and looking for other options, trying to find one that is not super pricey. So you need to go all out, but also be smart, because I don't want to look back and regret spending a ton of money on my wedding. But at the same time, I don't want to look back and be like, we didn't need to be so thrifty on this one aspect because it ended up not being as great as it could have been, and I regret it, you know? We're gonna find that happy medium. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Planning Your Wedding. I'm so excited that I've made progress. I'm one of those people who just likes to check the boxes. I'm very goal oriented, so it feels great to look at my checklist and see that we're actually on track, and we actually have checked off a lot of the things that we're supposed to. So, like, yay for me. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but yay. There's still a lot to do, but it's just important not to get overwhelmed and to just have fun in the process. So that's what we're doing. And I will see you all next week for another video, and hopefully very soon for the 3rd episode of DIYing Your Wedding. Bye guys. Oh gosh. I'm not a true Vulcan. We need to get this under control. I'm talking about crazy stuff.